All right, we are live and welcome everyone to Enlightened World Network. We're streaming tonight on that channel and bringing in this fourth, yeah, the fourth angel of this year that we're focusing on. So I'm so glad that you're joining with us and learning more about this angel, which is Archangel Uriel. So the first thing I want us to do is just center and open this sacred space. We open it with love and light and call upon the guidance of all of the archangels. I want to do that now to just call in Archangel Raphael from the east, Archangel Michael from the south, Archangel Gabriel from the west, and Archangel Uriel from the north. To be with us and help us to understand more fully what we are talking about tonight. We invite Archangel Uriel to shine divine wisdom into our hearts and minds during this time together. And may we open fully to receive his blessings and the clarity that he will bring. And I have an apology to Auntie Jean because I said he was of the West and he is not. He's correcting me on that. And it's okay. I make mistakes. I'm human. They always correct me if I do make a mistake. So we're going to talk about Uriel and some of his characteristics, some of the things to bring forth about him. His name means God is my light, or the light of God. You can say it either way. The important part is the light, because he is bright. Every time I've seen Uriel, I get this, oh, it's almost like a glow that's so hard to even explain when he shows up. And I know a lot of people see him with yellow surrounding him. I usually see it more on the gold spectrum. So when I look at him, when I call him in and invite him in, I just see, like you would imagine, sunshine hitting a bar of gold and all of that brilliance that would happen with that. So the light of God, and he's also known as the angel of wisdom, illumination, and divine truth. He shines the light of God's truth into the darkness of confusion. And boy, do we need that. Confusion and chaos. When that comes forth, we need that voice of reason, don't we? We need to know that there's something or someone, this beautiful angel, that can pull us back into reality and to help us get things straightened out. He's considered the intellectual angel. So I guess I would consider him right up there with a human equivalent of Einstein, some of our geniuses that have brought things through to us. Uriel is that type of energy, and he assists us with the mental clarity and finding solutions to things. I know a lot of times when I have had a puzzle that I'm working on and trying to figure out how something comes together, and I try to figure it out, right? And Uriel will just like sit with me and say, okay, let's look at this and do almost like a spreadsheet to say, this is this and this is this. And then you just see it all come together. Many times, as I look back on what's happening in my experiences, Uriel does shine that light and say, remember when this happened and you were confused because that happened? Well, this is how it played into the whole scheme of things. So if you're struggling with something that you're puzzled about, something that maybe doesn't make sense, and a lot of times things don't make sense. And sometimes we just want to yell out, make it make sense. Well, now you know this is the angel to call forth. Just ask Uriel. He does so many things. We'll talk about his grounding that he does for us. But I think this also is one of the strengths that one of his attributes that we can just really rely on when we do need that touch. So what are his characteristics? Well, when Uriel comes in, he's calm, and I feel that calmness. He's grounded. You can, when he comes in, it's almost like you wanted to stop what you're doing and pay attention, because he gets you really focused and balanced. He's wise and he's peaceful. No wonder I love Uriel so much, because I'm all about that peace. So thank you, Uriel, for being the angel of peace and helping us to want that more. The colors, as I mentioned, a lot of people see yellow, some see red, gold, amber. So there's many different aspects to the energy that he comes in with. Again, angels they're messengers, and they're here to help us. So they're not going to complicate things. When they come in, it's going to be how we can see them, how we can resonate with them. So maybe you wouldn't resonate with an angel that was bringing in an energy of red, but maybe you can see that gold and see an angel with that type of energy around them. So however the angel appears to you, that's what you're going to see. So you'll know when you see that flash of color, or feel the peacefulness and the calmness, that's this angel you're working with. It took me a while to distinguish the angels. I've been working with them my whole life, but working very, very closely with them for probably the past 3 decades of my life. Yeah, I'm a little older. But when you focus on how do I distinguish what angel is working with me, and you have information like this that's been brought forth, it's a little easier to say, oh, that's Uriel, because I just feel that peacefulness. I feel the centered energy when Uriel's present. So I think doing these teachings every month is going to help a lot of us to know what angels are working with us when they do come in. Uriel's element is the earth. He helps us stay grounded while we assess divine wisdom. So anytime that you need to get more balanced, more centered, just sit with your feet on the floor. We can do it right now. Let's try that. Put your feet on the ground, or where, if you're sitting on a bed or whatever, just put your feet flat so it's not up in the air. And just take a breath in. And when you breathe in, you're going to feel it, fill your lungs, and then watch as that breath, watch in your mind's eye, going down the length of your body, and then coming out the bottom of your feet. And what I like to envision, and invite you also, is to see that breath as roots now coming out the bottom of your feet, going down into Gaia. And just like the roots of a plant or a tree, see those roots spreading out far and wide, as far as they can, because that's going to really cement them into the earth energy. Now feel how calm it feels when you do that. You feel stable. You feel like, oh, nothing can knock me down. Nothing can blow me over right now, because I'm totally immersed in the earth's energy. And that's the power that Uriel helps us to recognize that we have. We can do this in any given moment. If something upsets you, maybe there's some conflict going on in your life, or an argument, or anything that comes in to rock you for a minute, stop and do this grounding. See how quickly it happens? You don't have to spend an hour getting grounded. You ground that fast when you set the intention and ask Uriel to help you do it. So I invite you, anytime that you need to just stop the frenzy, stop the chaos, just breathe. It's so simple. Just breathe in, let your roots go into the earth, and just a new person, calm and collected. And then you have more of the ability to make good choices, to make wiser decisions. Crystals that you can use to connect more fully with this angel: citrine. I have a citrine heart. I almost brought it into the room with me where I'm at right now, but I didn't listen to the angels, so I left it where it is. But citrine is a good connecting stone to connect with him. Amber and garnet. And interestingly, I found garnet just out on the shore of a lake in Vermont that Blue, Gene Walensky, had taken me to. And it's so prolific in that area. And I'm just laughing because I remembered how centered I felt there. And if you can just envision garnet even on the ground and just see your energy being lifted with it and connecting in with Uriel. Those aren't all of the stones, but those are the ones that are most commonly known that you can connect in with him. So what does he help with? Besides grounding our energy, that's the main one that most people know Uriel by, is being able to help us to become more centered, more balanced. He helps us with problem solving and decision making. And just as I mentioned, when we get more grounded and centered, we're going to make better choices. We're going to take that moment to just stop and think about what we're doing. As a friend of mine says, wait. What am I thinking? Wait. When we take that pause, then we can make clearer choices. We know what we're looking at instead of a spontaneous buy or a knee-jerk reaction to somebody that says something. So this is a very important part of what Uriel does. When he grounds us, then that's helping us to make better choices. He helps with emotional healing. And I'm going to stop myself because I refer to Uriel as a he, because I've always felt that male energy when he comes in. Angels don't have a gender, but they will, like I said, they'll appear to us how we resonate with them, how we're going to accept that that's who they are. So it could appear to you as a female Uriel, and it's perfectly fine. However that angel comes to you, then just receive and don't sweat the small stuff, as they say. So male or female, doesn't matter. So he helps with emotional healing, and especially when it comes to areas of anger or resentment, holding grudges. He helps us to think about that and think about how holding on to some of this stuff from the past is really not harming anyone other than ourselves. So when he brings in that wisdom to us and we see what we're doing, it's like, oh, well, why am I torturing myself with staying angry and holding on to something that I should be laying down and letting go? So he's the voice of reason when it comes to our emotions. And sometimes we can just get so wrapped up in those emotions that we forget that we have these helpers. We have Uriel that can help us understand things and have epiphanies with our spiritual understanding. Uriel helps us with writing, speaking, and teaching with our spirituality. So if you're one that says, oh, I don't like to journal, or I don't have time for that, or writing's just not my jam, I just can't get into it. Well, there's a lot of benefits to journaling. There's a lot of benefits to writing down things that you want to remember at a later time. And so if that's you and you would like to maybe try it, ask Uriel to help you. And one thing that you can ask, and I've done this many, many times with Uriel, is help me just to do automatic writing. When we write, we focus so hard on what am I going to put on that piece of paper, right? What am I going to say? So when we stop that thought process then that's called automatic writing. When we just let the thoughts flow onto the paper, you don't even have to look at the paper. You can just put a pen in your hand, put the paper in front of you, and say, okay, Uriel, what needs to come through? What do I need to know right now? What needs to come out of me to be expressed? And then it'll just come. And sometimes it'll look like scribble, and that's okay too, because Uriel will help you decipher that and help you to understand what it was that came forth. He helps if you need to speak, if you need to share yourself with others or share your story or do some teaching on things that you have more of an understanding of. So these are some ways that Uriel's able to help us in our daily life. I call on Uriel every day. I don't start my day without the angels. they're the ones that bring my awareness that I've got something to do today. So if you want to have more of a path where it's fluid and you don't have to just stop and analyze it and say, where am I at? What do I need to do? Just call on the angels, and especially this beautiful angel that helps us in such a great way. What are the symbols to recognize Uriel? You know, the angels are always giving us signs and symbols. And there's a lot of people that have painted the angels and have done some deep work to say, okay, what represents this particular angel? How does he keep showing up over and over again? And some of the ways that he's depicted is either with a book or a scroll. And I have seen that scroll. There's been many times when he's trying to help me understand something. He has a lot of teaching, but he helps us to work through it first so we fully grasp it and understand it. And I have seen Uriel with the scroll where it just like opens up and I'm like, oh, I get it. Like somebody putting up a presentation in front of you and showing you on the big screen, this is what it means. So let that scroll unfold, or take the book that he'll lead you to. This is an interesting thing that the angels can do. They can bring to mind a name, or they'll bring a person to you that says, hey, this book is pretty good. I encourage you to read this book. That's an angel that brought that person to you. I fully believe that. There are lots of earth angels that are helping us, as well as our angelic realm angels. Another symbol is the open hand holding a flame. I've seen a lot of flames when Uriel comes in. Normally, it's Archangel Michael that comes in with a flame, because Michael is the energy of fire, but it doesn't limit any of the archangels from having anything they want. So a lot of pictures and paintings have depicted Uriel holding the flame or the sun, which represents God's truth. Turn to Uriel for help seeking God's will before making decisions. You know, a lot of times we pray and we're like, I don't know what to do. And we just try to let the wheels turn in our head to figure it out. Well, what if you had that helper right there with you that said, I can help you with that? And that's what Uriel does. So ask Uriel, is this a teacher that I should listen to? Is this a video? Is this a teaching that's for me? And Uriel will guide you. And if it's not for you, then you're not going to resonate with it. And he'll help you right away to see, oh, no, let me turn the page. Let me go to something different. He also helps in resolving conflicts. So if there's an argument that you have, a lot of people have ongoing arguments with people, and the people in our life that I refer to as our sandpaper people, the ones that just sometimes can be frustrating. And they're the ones that are helping smooth out our rough edges. Uriel will help if you want that to happen with ease and grace, and helping us to let go of some of those emotions that I mentioned earlier, anxiety, lots of anxiety going on right now. So if you're feeling that, ask Uriel, can I let this go? Can I release it with ease and grace? He also can help in discerning wisdom and to recognize when there's something that's not for our best and highest good. And I encourage everyone, when you're reaching out and asking for answers, just ask it in that manner. What do I need to know for my best and highest good? What's going to help me on my path with learning more and growing more? That's what we're here for, is to have these experiences where we're growing in our spirituality. So Uriel is mentioned significantly in some of the major apocryphal texts, and that's a big word. Apocryphal texts are religious works that were included in some of the early versions of the Bible, but today are considered to be secondary in importance to what was included in the Old and New Testament. So some of these you might be aware of. They're like the Dead Sea Scrolls. There's certain books that have been found that were left out, like the Book of Enoch, which he is prolific in that book. And there's others that wrote in that time of Jesus and beyond. And so he's mentioned in many, many of these. It's said that when King Herod ordered the massacre of the young boys around the time of Jesus' birth, the story goes that Herod was the one that sent the wise men, and he had heard a rumor that a king was going to be born. So he sent them, and when they reported back, they told him that yes, Jesus Christ has been born, and he's the king. So Herod ordered the massacre of these young boys to get rid of this king. And Uriel is said to have been the one that rescued John the Baptist from being murdered at that time. He also has been said to carry both John and his mother Elizabeth to join Jesus and his parents in Egypt. So John the Baptist, I feel a very strong connection to him. And he has written a lot about what happened and the things that took place during that time. So I trust that and just have confirmation that this is true, that Uriel was like his guardian angel that helped him and his mother to escape any danger. So some Christians consider Uriel a saint. He serves as the patron saint of the arts and the sciences because he can inspire and awaken those things within us to go in that direction. In some of the Catholic traditions, the archangels also have patronage over the 7 sacraments of the church. And so he's considered the patron of confirmation and guiding the faithful as they reflect on the holy nature of that sacrament. I have a picture on the background behind me, which is, I've talked about this with every archangel now. This is the Seraphat, which God emanates 10 vessels through which the world is created, called the Sephirat. I keep mispronouncing it, Sephirat, which are both part of God and created by God. These vessels are channels of light or water, and they also are light. They are God and of God, but they cannot define God or limit God. What is truly God is wholly beyond these descriptions, beyond the first Sephira, called Keter or crown, denoted by the term Ein Sof, without limit, without end. So on the Sephirat, which is in the Kabbalah, there's stories of the Torah, and every character represents a configuration. Archangel Uriel, you see where the 2 asterisks are. That particular one is the Hakma, and it's identified as the Sephira of Hakma, and the sphere of energy, which encompasses, and you might want to pay attention to this part, it encompasses the right eye, the ear, the nostril, the temple, and the skull area. So each one of these vessels on this tree of life, the Sephiroth, whatever you want to refer to it as, they represent a body part as well as representing the tree of life and God's creation. So any or all of these things I just mentioned, the right eye, the ear, the nostril, the temple, and the skull, any of these can become sore or traumatized by a crisis about wisdom. So just think if there was a time when you had something going on in that area and you thought it was all physical, but it might have been something that you don't understand, something that's trying to come forward to teach you something and show you something. So wisdom means how to accurately act in one's current situation. I love that definition, how to accurately act. So we can act in any way we choose. We have free will. But if we want to do what's in our best and highest good, we're going to pay attention and we're going to need that inspiration and that guidance to be able to do that for our best and highest good. So it's not a matter of information that we're missing, but it's how do we take action with facts, with the known facts. So the Hakma is related to crises that maybe are behavioral crises, requiring us to exercise wisdom in how we behave. So it's how are we showing up? What are we doing? Are we paying attention to what we're doing? Remember the acronym that I gave? WAIT. What am I thinking? So when we're acting without thinking it through, then there could be a pain involved with that, a physical pain that happens until we resolve what's going on. And many times we look for the physical way to resolve it, right? Let's go to the doctor. Let's find out why my right eye is hurting. Let's find out what's going on with my ear. Has anybody ever experienced where there was like kind of a shutting off of the hearing in one of your ears? It might have been an emotional crisis that was going on because something wasn't fully processed. I have this happen. There's times when I'll just be going along and I think everything's great. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, what just happened? I don't hear anything out of this ear. It does come back. Or you might have what some people refer to as a ringing in the ear. Pay attention to these signs and then just take that pause and say, okay, Uriel, I need some guidance here. I need some clarity about what's going on. So, we need all the help we can get going through this life. We really do. And God knew that. So he gave us these angels to help us and help us to really be the best we can do, live the best life that we can live. So I'm going to pause here. We're about halfway through. I'm going to lead us into a meditation with Archangel Uriel. Uriel brought this meditation through. So this is what he wanted us to focus on and to explore. And I just want to see if there's anything maybe I went through a little fast. I know I gave you a lot of information in a short period of time. Is there anything you have a question on? We can do that before we center ourselves and go into this meditation. So, and welcome those that came in while I was talking, and thank you, Ruth, for doing that for us. Okay, no questions. See how good Uriel is. He really does bring through things with a lot of ease and clarity and helps us to understand it. When I do these teachings, I just ask what to bring forth, what needs to be known, because there's so much that we could spend days, weeks, months studying these angels and all of their attributes and the things they bring forth. But when we ask, which I do, what are the highlights? What do you want me to share with everyone to get to know you more fully? And they do. They just respond and bring it out. So, all right. Well, we are going to go into the meditation. So if you want to make sure that you are centered and calm in where you are, that you're not going to be disturbed for the next few minutes. It's not a really long meditation, but Uriel is going to attune you to his energy. So you want to make sure that where you are at, there's not going to be a disturbance. If you've got your phone with you, make sure it's off or away from you where it's not going to make a lot of noise. And let's go ahead and breathe in. You can either close your eyes or leave them open, and closing your eyes just shuts out all distraction. And you'll be hearing the sound of my voice, so you're not going to miss anything. You close your eyes and gently breathe through your nose. Fill up your lungs completely. Just hold it there in your lungs for a moment. Feel the power of that breath. And then slowly release it back out through your mouth. As you do so, you're releasing any tension, any stress. And just keep doing that. A few more of those deep breaths in, holding it, and releasing it. Allow yourself to settle into that state of relaxation, because when you do this for just a few minutes, your whole body responds and it relaxes. Your mind starts to relax, helping you to focus more on what you're doing. And let's all set the intention to connect with Archangel Uriel, this wonderful, amazing angel of wisdom who will help illuminate exactly what we need to know right now and give us that divine guidance. As you breathe in your next breath, visualize a warm golden light surrounding you, creating a safe and sacred space for you to do this meditation. Every time you inhale the breath, imagine this golden light filling you. To feel the warmth of it. And then when you exhale, let go of any doubts, any burdens. There may be things that have happened during the day. Just set those aside for this little bit of time we're going to spend with an angel. And we invite Uriel now to help us all ground as we're sitting here together. Help us to breathe that breath in and let it go throughout our body, down into our Mama Gaia, feeling that strength that's underneath our feet and pulling that strength back up. And maybe there's a crystal down in Gaia that you can communicate with and bring its energy back up. Maybe it is a citrine. I see the amber glow. I see the golden shining brilliance that's coming up, covering each one that's present. Now, I want you to visualize this radiant figure standing before you, Uriel, enveloped in a shimmering golden aura. Feel the energy, the wisdom that this angel just encompasses. You can feel it when he's present. Feel the understanding and the empathy, the knowledge coming from him about what's needed for you. And as you focus on that presence, say to yourself, or you can say it out loud if you're muted, Archangel Uriel, I invite your wisdom and your light into my life. Please guide me on my path and illuminate the truth within me. And I'm going to repeat that. Archangel Uriel, I invite your wisdom and your light into my life. Please guide me on my path and illuminate the truth within me. Now imagine Uriel hearing you, hearing your desire, and extending his hand towards you, offering a golden light that flows into your heart. Take it right into that heart center and feel that energy activating your own inner wisdom, bringing clarity to your thoughts and your emotions. You are asked to receive this divine light, bask in its energy. This is an angelic attunement to Uriel. Feel the clarity beginning to enter into your eyes, your ears, your nostrils, your temple, and your skull. You might feel a little lightheaded. You might feel some movement in those areas. As you continue to breathe, visualize the golden energy expanding throughout your body, reaching every corner of your being. Feel it dissolving any confusion or uncertainty, replacing it with insight and understanding. As you continue to meditate, you might wish to reflect on something that's a question, one of those puzzling things in life that just doesn't make sense that you want to understand more fully. Or maybe there's an area of your life where you seek guidance. You're encouraged now to open your heart and your mind to receive any messages or feelings that arise. Trust that Uriel is with you, providing support and clarity. So let's take a moment with Uriel, with this golden light that has just brilliantly illuminated us, and ask your question. State your desire for Uriel to help you, to guide you. When you feel ready and complete, there's no rush. Just gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Take a deep breath in and hold gratitude in your heart for this wonderful angel that has attuned you to his energy, for the wisdom that he's brought forth. And perhaps you didn't get anything, any message or any feeling. That's okay, because his energy now is connected. And anytime that subconscious can bring forth whatever it is that he's helping you to understand. Let's come back to this present moment. And before we conclude, let's thank Uriel and all the archangels. Thanking you to Raphael and Michael and Gabriel, and especially thanking Archangel Uriel for his guidance, for him coming to us tonight in a big way. Visualize him smiling at you, accepting that gratitude, and radiating so much love right back to you, sending back to your heart that warmth and that love. And when you're ready, you can come back in with us all, opening your eyes. And let's just take a moment to express any experience that you would like to share, anything that happened during this time with Uriel. Maybe how did his energy feel, if you did feel it? What you want to share any messages? Go ahead and do that. And are you feeling more clarity? Are you feeling that warmth that came in from Uriel? So this is the time for sharing, and you can unmute yourself and just share with us what it is that you got from this time with an angel. This is a special time every month for us to get to know the angel better and to work with that angel for a full month. So the things that were taught, the meditation with the activation, that all can just be um, brought up more and more throughout the month for you to pay attention to and to have. So mics are open. Who would like to share something?
Hey, Tara, do you want to turn off the live streaming for
Yes.
this?
Let's do that. And thank you to everyone who joined us tonight on the stream on YouTube and Facebook. We were both places. If you enjoyed what you heard here tonight, come back next month, the second Wednesday of each month at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. There will be a different angel that we focus on, and you can work with that energy throughout the whole month. So please come back. And if you haven't liked Enlightened World Network on Facebook and YouTube, please do so now. This is an opportunity for you to show that you enjoy what the information is that we're putting out on this channel. Thank you so much.